Hello again, everyone. This is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. How you doing today on this Friday night? Anyway, I love to talk about ways that we can repurpose things that we already have. And I love to do that because we have the item already. We paid for it, or we received it, or it was gifted to us. And when I get back, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of tips about how to reuse some common stuff around the house. So basically, it's kind of like a part 2 of last week. So when we get back, I'm going to do just that. So let's get right to it. Okay, now when you're in the bathroom, you can reuse those pump bottles that like lotions and beauty aids come in like that. You can repurpose that by putting in either shampoo or conditioner when you're taking your shower. Boom, just pump it out and there you go. And it's also a great way to slow down the use. How many times have you poured something and blah, just comes right into your hand? It's all over the place and it's wasteful. This way, it gives things a little bit more of a control. And by the way, you could do the same thing with dish liquid in your kitchen. You could put it in a pump bottle, and you could just go boom, and just take it as you need it. You'll be amazed and surprised how much a bottle of good quality dish liquid can go. You really don't need to use tons and tons of it. And of course, the phone is ringing again. Gosh. Okay, we're talking again about, well, part 2 of this, repurposing things. And what I love is that the stuff that we're talking about is commonly things that we usually have around our houses and apartments. Okay? Now, the next one involves glass jars. So, if you have kids, use your discretion. I mean, depends on your kid's age and whatever. If they're little kids, don't, I wouldn't recommend. Okay, a lot of people, for example, repurpose glass jars as drinking glasses. I have done that myself. But then again, I don't have a little kid running around that could knock it over. So use your discretion. But another thing that you can do, a tried and true and old-fashioned thing to do, is use it for a pen or a pencil case, a pencil holder or a pen holder. And yes, we still use pens even in 2020. So glass jars do come in handy. And, backs of notebooks. Okay, now, when this trusty notebook is finished, and I love this one to pieces, isn't this pretty? Look at the back of this. This is like the prettiest thing. I'm not going to waste this. This is a sturdy, hard cardboard. See, when it makes that noise, you know it's hard and it's sturdy. I'm not throwing this out. I'm going to repurpose it. I'm going to take maybe 1 or 2 of my favorite photos that I still have. I'm going to mount it on that, and it'll have a vintage frame effect. And then I'll cut out probably the other side in half and put like a back to it so it could just stand up on its own as a cute little frame. Total cost, just a few minutes of my time. Photos that I already have. So tiny effort, 0 monetary cost. Repurpose, and renew, right? There you go. Now, the next thing is about wrapping gifts. Well, what could we do? I have personally done this. I have had vintage scarves, okay? You could take a vintage scarf, or you could take a brand new towel. You could get them for song at the dollar store. And instead of buying just, throwaway paper things like that, you could make this part of the gift, and it comes out so nicely and so pretty, and wrap it the way you want to, especially like oddly shaped items. That works great with using cloth or using towel or scarves. So that's part of the gift, and you're repurposing something that perhaps you don't use anymore that someone else may appreciate. And if you go ahead with the paper wrappings, okay, I say, like, if I get really fancy wrapping paper from people and gifts or whatever, or those gift bags, I do not throw them out. Every holiday season, I put them away for next year. And I am glad that I do that, because there's nothing wrong with that. And another thing when it comes to wrapping, you know those free newspapers you get in those kiosks, for free? You read them, of course, and then when you're done with it, maybe consider keeping some of those papers for unusual wrapped gifts for people of things that go on in your local area. Let's say you have a friend that lives far away. They not only get your gift, but they get the fun of reading what's going on in your community. So, cost of that, 0. And I like paying 0. Okay, this is something I still do to this day. We talk a lot about my air fryer. I have the original box it came in. This is an example. I like to keep the original box that small appliances come in for a number of reasons. One, if for whatever the reason is, I have to either move, if I decide to move or whatever, I have its original box. So when I'm packing up to go, it goes right in there. Or suppose I'm storing stuff somewhere and I need the space. I could put whatever little appliance that I'm not using in its original box. I don't have to bother identifying it. I know what it is immediately. And I know it's going to fit. It's its original box. So if you have that closet space, keep the original boxes that the stuff came in. Just saying. Just saying. Okay. Old socks. You can do a lot of things with old socks. You really can. And I heard of someone that would put scraps of soap in an old pair of socks. I'm like, why would you do that? Oh, then she said she ties a knot when she has her peak capacity of soap in it, ties a knot in the sock, and then lathers up. Once it gets wet, voila. So it's a great way to keep those little scraps in one place, and that actually makes a lot of sense. What I like to do, I like to take an old sock, put it on my hand, and if I'm dusting in a hurry, with my hand, I could gather my hand in every little crevice like that. It's fast, it's free, it's easy, and most importantly, it works. It does the trick. And when you're done with that sock, you don't have to toss it. If you want, all you have to do is toss it in the laundry. Get another use out of it. Like, those times where you have those mismatched pairs, and don't ask me what happens to the original pair. I have no idea. It goes into like Never Neverland or something like that. Oh, also with socks. I mentioned this to you on a prior video. You know those modern, easy mops that people buy those fancy pads for? You could take one of those old socks, clean, put it on one edge of the pad holder, with the stick on it. Take the other sock, go to the other side, dust around. Again, same principle. And all you have to do is take that off and toss that in the wash. Egg cartons. Oh, can I tell you, egg cartons are so purposeful. My favorite thing to do is if I have to go to a potluck luncheon, if I make deviled eggs, which people have requested my deviled eggs, they like them. I don't blame them. Just saying. I like to put my deviled eggs inside of a wiped out, nicely cleaned out egg carton because it's its own perfect carrier. So I put my deviled eggs in the egg carton, close it up, pack it up, and take it with me. The other thing I like to do, if you make bird clock again, if you make mini muffins or mini cupcakes, those egg little holders in the carton like that, they fit in there perfectly. If you go on a picnic or to the beach or just put them outside, carry them out to your yard or whatever, just put them in there. It's great. It's easy. And you already have it, so you're not paying extra for it. Makes a great traveling companion so that the muffins don't crush in the car. Plastic bags. Carry some plastic bags with you if you do go to the beach. If you get wet and everything, you don't want where are you going to put your wet clothes? You have that plastic bag to put in your belongings when you go home. All the wet stuff is already in the plastic bag. It's not messing up the other stuff, hopefully. Make sure there's no holes in that bag specifically, whatever you do. Okay. Ah, breadcrumb containers. You know those round ones with the lid, okay. Those are so useful. Like you could do a ton of things with that. Okay. The one thing I like to keep those for is if I end up making my own breadcrumbs. Since it's so good for storing breadcrumbs, it's good for storing homemade breadcrumbs, right? So I've done that and it works. And by the way, Mornings with Granny, she had mentioned last week that she likes to take, bathroom tissue, the roller, toilet paper holder, the roller, the cardboard thing. And she says what you could do with those, or with paper towel ones, you could fill them up with candy and wrap it around and use for little candy holders as gifts. So, and you could, she said to like color code it in a way, like one color of the wrapping for people on sugar-free candy, and the other colorful wrapping for people who can have, regular candy. So, I thought that was brilliant. Thank you, Mornings with Granny. I appreciate it. And never forget that aluminum foil is actually a reusable item. People tend to forget that, but aluminum foil is totally reusable. If it gets a little bit, a little bit of food debris on there, it's nothing, not a big deal. Just rinse it off. Just dry it off, just rinse it off, and if it's, usable, go for it. And okay, if it gets to the point where it's not usable, then you toss it. But if you could get 2 or 3 more uses, let's say that you take a piece of aluminum foil and just covering a bowl, okay, temporarily. It's not even touching anything except with the diameter of the bowl. And then you just don't want to just like throw it, you know what I'm saying? So get some use out of that. And I'll be right back. Unfortunately, due to time constraints with this phone, because I can only hold so much storage on this, I really wish I could go longer on this tonight, but maybe we'll continue it again next week. That would be nice. Okay. I just wanted to mention 2 important things. I'm going to link up in the description box below what you can do to recycle old phones. You can't just ditch them. Just check out this video. I'm going to link it to the description box below. Okay. Really interesting things to do, including turning that old phone into a security camera. Sounds good to me. Okay, so check out that link in the description box below. But one more thing, which was very popular amongst commentors throughout, and this was a great idea. If you have a really cool shirt that you really love, hey, sounds like a Donovan song. Oh, you remember that song, I Love My Shirt? Okay. If you have a shirt that you really love, one that you feel so groovy in. That's a real song from the 60s. Anyway, if you have a perfectly great shirt, but somehow, unfortunately, you got a bad stain on it that no matter what you do, you can't get rid of, but you don't want to get rid of that shirt. You know what the viewers suggested? Create like some sort of like thing, like a patch or a decoration or whatever, and sew it to fit over the stain. Make it a unique shirt. How cool was that? How cool is that? And just think, you got to hear me sing a Donovan tune. This show doesn't get any better or worse. Hey, you survived it. There you go. I will come back next week with more tips next Friday night. Thank you so much for viewing, because I really do appreciate whose time? Your time. Have a great upcoming weekend, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Take good care now.